In a display of community spirit, the bustling commercial city came alive as many gathered to commemorate the 7th edition of the African Memorial Day Festival, honoring the past and celebrating the present. This year's theme shines a spotlight on the powerful essence of historical consciousness and human justice.
The annual celebration of the Africa Memorial Day kicks off its 7th edition in Lagos, this year's theme being historical consciousness and human justice. With bold smiles, many arrive on the carpet, creatively stylish in their African-inspired ensemble.
What if I tell you I feel your pain? Your pain. I feel it right, yeah.
In large numbers, the guests throng in to celebrate the African heritage.
Freedom, when you'll be free from slavery, racism, your community, poverty, what's identity, is it stupidity or your fertility?
High-profile guests are in attendance, including the founders and anchors of the Pan-African Tourism and Cultural Program Goje Africa, Isaac Moses and his wife Nneka, showbiz industry practitioners, lawmakers including the senior advocate of Nigeria and human rights activist Femi Falana, students from various schools, amongst others. The enlightenment begins as various artistic expressions take center stage.
Arise, Africa, this call is for we Africans. Now we get the talent. Yeah. Boss up. Yeah. What are the we on this field, undeniable, can't stop a boo, we unstoppable. Kings and queens, royal bloodable, ancestral, geneable, indisputable, starable, heritage, rerootable, table stone intolerable, culturally standable, modern life incredible, we correct.
Comes what history forgets. The mother's lullaby and the abstract laughter of our people. But then the ocean bed is a cold ledge of lost, cradled bones that shredded breath for rusted chains.
The convener of the event, who's also the executive guardian and chief advocate of the Correct Africa Foundation, gives the opening remarks, which lays much emphasis on the reawakening of African society.
I am deeply honored by the presence of the men, women, youth, and children making history with us today under the Correct Connect Africa Foundation's vision. The idea for Africa Memorial Day was born 8 years ago when a group of us, students in the diaspora, felt a burning need, a duty to honor our ancestors, to commemorate and celebrate our heroes and heroines, our kings and queens, our martyrs, visionaries, freedom fighters, people of all walks of life who stood and often fell for Africa's liberation.
Black I was born, and black I will always be. I am a masterpiece of my creator. I am an African king.
More Afrocentric performances take the stage.
I am Africa. My skin, a rich velvety brown, like the fertile soil that nourishes the town. My eyes, bright stars shining like the night, guiding me through the darkness of plight.
Soon enough, the stage is occupied by high-profile panelists made up of cultural enthusiasts, human rights activists, cultural custodians, and research analysts. The conversations targeted towards retracing the steps of Africans to the path leading to them taking up their true identity, which will enable them create a better future for themselves, commenced.
If we say we are not ready, you can never be ready unless you decide it is now. Don't wait for anybody. Don't wait to be validated. If we waited for government to approve Goge Africa or for the foreigners to tell us we are doing right, we won't start. We started on a shoestring budget because it needed to be done.
We are gathered here today to celebrate Africa. Please don't agonize about the past. Let us get organized. The resources of the continent, the resources of Africa are enough for us if we get organized.
We have lost touch with communal parenting. And we cannot blame anybody but ourselves. Some years ago, if you go to school and you come home with a pencil that does not belong to you, the Omoluabi threshold is the same across board. If you live in a rented apartment, your landlord will beat you. Your parents will beat you. If you wear an indecent clothes, you cannot even afford to come out from your room. Because right from the front of your house, people start telling you, what is this? But you know, we embrace something that we do not critically understand, and we call it civilization. Africa has been civilized way before Europe became civilized.
If we are the Gen Zs or the millennials, it is time for mental freedom. What do we require? Yes, dig deep and know thyself.
Let us choose to be intentional about seeing ourselves as indestructible stars.
Know today that the light of wisdom lies within you.
And together we can make a positive change in understanding our culture, the economic and intellectual revival of Africa, which emphasizes our identity.
More performances, including spoken word, dance and drama, centered on elevating the consciousness of Africans, seize the attention of guests.
When suddenly clouds gather, turning day almost into night, lightning and thunder scatter the skies as if the gods were angry. Panic sets in, and some of the villagers try to run, but as hard as they try to move, they find that their feet are stuck to the earth. The chief priest starts to speak in incantations and is thrown into a trance. Even the king is not able to move.
Nigerian comedian Godwin Komone, better known by his stage name Gordons, reflects on the theme of historical consciousness and human justice and how it affects modern-day Africa.
And the injustice that is done to us, there's really nothing we can do about it, but rather to wake up to reality that in spite of all that has been done to us, we see Africans. God still have a plan for us, and that's the uniqueness of Africa can be packaged and be sold properly, and the narrative or the story of Africa can be told differently. And so I came here and I saw that, well, Africa is being talked about. It was a thing of beauty for me. And I do hope that the organizers of the AMD will continue this very moment.
Africa Memorial Day, an initiative born in diaspora by a group of passionate Nigerian students studying in Rome, led by the Reverend Father Anthony Alekwe Odio, and the foundation, Correct Africa Foundation, is a day that celebrates the memory of the heroes past and African ancestors who've paved the way for present generations. For 3 years in Rome, the monumental event was marked. In recent times, the Educational Foundation, which follows the Sankophone philosophy, brings the Africa Memorial Day celebration to the continent. The convener believes that the values of the Christian faith and the African cultural belief system are similar in ideology and shouldn't deter Africans from embracing their true identity.
This is Christian values to do good. African values says do good. Like the drama we just saw now, Naiso and the egg. What gave joy and flourishment to the land is because of the goodness of Naiso. That's it. That's our values. Our culture has been demonized. We've been told that we don't have history. To do what? To bring us down. To make us feel as if we are worthless.
As the 7th edition of the Africa Memorial Day comes to an end, the aim to awaken the Africa consciousness and demand justice through historical truth and cultural identity remains at the forefront for the Correct Connect Africa Foundation, as the non-confessional and the apolitical organization is dedicated now more than ever before to connecting Africans to their roots through multiple channels of education and creating awareness.